Hi, friend, and welcome to Tidy the Clutter podcast. I'm Mariah, and I'm so glad you're here. This is the place where we talk about real-life ways to simplify your home and digital spaces. Let's face it, life gets busy real quick. Between work, kids, emails, and everything else on your plate, it's easy to feel like things are slipping through the cracks. The good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. In each episode, I'll be sharing practical tips, small wins, and simple strategies to help you clear the clutter, both in your physical and digital spaces. You can feel more in control and have more time for what truly matters most to you. Whether it's setting up routines that stick, taming your inbox, or tackling toy chaos, my goal is to make getting organized doable, even on your busiest days. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get started. Does it ever feel like life moves faster than you can keep up with? Like your home, your schedule, your mind are all playing a game of catch up? I've been there. But what if I told you that one simple routine, just one, could completely change the way your week feels? Welcome back to Tidy the Clutter, the podcast that helps busy parents and professionals simplify their homes and digital spaces for better productivity and peace of mind. If you have ever felt like your week spirals out of control before Monday even begins, this episode is for you. We are talking all about weekly reset routines. What are they, why they work, and how you can create one that feels just right for your life. Let me start with a little peek into my world. I want to be real with you about why this topic means so much to me. Every Sunday, I sit down with my Google Calendar on my phone and make sure I've noted every appointment, every meeting, every basically event for the entire week ahead. I add these items into my alarm clock if they're needed, and that's my mental clarity routine. It's just a way to get my brain in the game for the upcoming week. But Saturdays are my reset days. And they are the secret to how I keep my home and my sanity, dare I say, in check. Life right now is just really full. I'm working full time. I'm a mom 24/7, and I'm also helping care for family members. So by the time I hit the weekend, I'm usually spent. Oh my gosh. Just by the time I hit 6 p.m., I'm pooped by the end of a workday. But I found that if I dedicate my weekend mornings, specifically my Saturday morning, to resetting my home, whether it's tackling the living room or organizing the bathroom or focusing on a very specific area, it just seems to make everything else so much easier. So, what exactly is a weekly reset and why should it be a routine? It's about pausing, reflecting, and really preparing for what's to come. And I want to make it crystal clear. This is not about achieving perfection by any means. It's not about cleaning every single square inch of your house or creating an Instagram-worthy space. It's about creating an intentional moment to reset your space, your mind, and basically your week so you are ready to take on whatever comes your way. If we can just kind of talk about the benefits for a minute, imagine a routine that could simultaneously reduce your stress, boost your productivity, and provide mental clarity, all in one simple practice. That is the magic of a weekly routine. When my space is organized, I feel lighter. My stress levels drop, and it allows me to focus on what really matters, whether it's a work deadline or spending quality time with my loved ones. It's like giving your brain a deep breath of fresh air. This isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating that mental space as well. As a result, I start my week with a clean slate, both physically and mentally. Mondays become an opportunity to really hit the ground running, as they say. I can focus, I can prioritize, and I can actually get things done. So there's no more wasting time looking for lost items or feeling overwhelmed because there's too much crap on my desk or there's just too much crap on the floor. Just overwhelmed with chaos, I guess is a better term. Instead, my reset transforms how I approach literally the entire week. By the time the weekend arrives, I've created a sense of mental reset and clarity that infuses everything I do. Sundays become my me day, as me day as a mom can get. It's a chance to relax, spend time with the girls and Nate, and really prepare for the week ahead without that looming feeling of impending chaos. This isn't about perfection, like I said before. It's about creating a rhythm that supports your life, reduces your mental load, and gives you back control. So let's get practical. How in the world do you actually create a reset routine that works for you? Well, I'm going to give you, let's see, 4 tips, maybe 5, maybe it's 5 tips. I'm going to give you some tips. And ideally, this will spark some creativity and inspiration that you can take with you. But my first is to start small. If the idea of resetting your whole house feels overwhelming, don't panic. Focus on just 1 or 2 key areas. Maybe it's your kitchen, or your home office, or your kids' playroom. Remember to start small, and consistent steps create big changes. I know we talked about it in one of our earlier episodes. Maybe it was 1 or 2. I'm not quite sure. But stay consistent, and those consistent steps will create big changes. Now, the next one is timing. Timing really is everything. There's no universal right time for a reset or right time to clean the bathroom. My resets happen on Saturdays because that's what works for my schedule. When I had a different work arrangement, I actually did them midweek. Wednesdays were my reset days. The key is just finding a time that fits your life, not forcing yourself into an impossible schedule that is not going to work. That's not the purpose or plan of a reset. Now, the next one is family involvement. So make it a team effort. In my home, Nate helps me with his honey-do list, I'm going to call it. The kids tidy their rooms, and I tackle the spaces that need the most attention that it'd be easier if I did myself. For an example, my vanity in my bedroom or my work desk. Those are areas that it's like, yes, I could get their involvement. But if I do, I also risk not being able to find something that I'm going to need. I would just prefer to do those ones myself, which is fine. I don't want to lose different things. I want to know where they're at. So delegation isn't just about getting help, right? It's really about creating a shared sense of responsibility. There's no need for mom to work all week and then do everything at night and yada, yada, yada. And then the weekend comes and mom's in charge of doing everything. No, everybody lives at your house. Whoever lives there all the time, they need to participate in the reset. It's about creating a shared sense of responsibility. So everybody that's in your home should share the responsibility of keeping it nice and tidy. The kids can clean up their messes. The hubbies can do simple or complex honey-do lists. It really is what works for your family dynamic. Now, the next one is the quick resets during the week. If you've been following along since episode 3 or even episode 10, you know how powerful the 10 and 15-minute quick resets can be. And as I discussed in those earlier episodes, these mini sessions are really game changers. It's what makes my Saturday reset much quicker than it used to be. They can help you stay on top of the clutter so your big weekly reset isn't this gigantic, overwhelming Oh, every Saturday we have to do this, because throughout the week, bad things have happened. Like, it reduces that overwhelm substantially, and I really appreciate it. Every Saturday, I dive into resetting a specific area of my home. And my vanity has become my go-to example for this transformative process. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you, probably because it's the latest one that I did. Think of this more than just cleaning. It's about cleaning a space that not only looks organized, but feels intentional and supports how you actually live. Like, what's the point of deep cleaning your entire space, putting things where you have no idea where they are, and then what? As you're searching for the things that you no longer remember where they are, they're going to get pulled out and things will just get cluttered. So you need to be intentional and support how you live in order for it to continue working for you. While I walk you through my process using my vanity as the specific example, this approach is incredibly flexible. Whether you're tackling a cluttered garage, a chaotic kids' playroom, your home office, the bathroom, the core principles will remain the same. I'm going to give you 4 different steps as to what I do. My first step is clear and categorize, and it takes maybe about 10-15 minutes approximation. But really, you start by removing everything from the area that you're focusing on. For my vanity, in this example, this means clearing all the items and creating strategic groups. As I mentioned in one of my latest episodes, I talked about keeping your home office kind of separated from like the kids bringing banana peels and all these random things to your desk. And this is what I'm talking about. I also mentioned in there that at the end of my workday, I move things over to downstairs to fix them, or I move them to my vanity to actionize whatever it needs to be. And when I'm creating these strategic groups based on my vanity, sometimes I'll have things that, hey, this can go in the kitchen. Hey, this toy is fixed. Have the girls go put it away. Oh, you got a new tank top. Okay, well, take the tags off and put it in your closet if you didn't already do that. Just these kind of strategic groups of this actually is going to stay on the vanity, so put it on the left side of the bed. And this is going to go back in the kitchen, so put it on the right side. Create these groups that are probably pretty small, but it will help in the long run. So items that belong in the space, items that belong elsewhere in the house, or items to donate. Create a pile for items that need to donate too. And a pro tip here would be to create designated groups to avoid feeling overwhelmed. If you're tackling a larger space like the garage, then really consider enlisting help from family members to sort and categorize our items. Kiddos might not be the best help in the garage, but husbands are a pretty good help in the garage. Now, my second step is to clean the space. So, approximation again, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes. Use the area that you just cleared and give it a thorough cleaning. Wipe down surfaces and mirrors until they sparkle, if you will, and sweep dust or vacuum as needed. My secret weapon is turning on my favorite music, or you could do a playlist or even a podcast with some background motivation. I also really like playing Grey's Anatomy. Right now, that's where I'm at. I'd probably be having Grey's Anatomy playing in my ears. My third step is to organize with purpose. It takes maybe 15-20 minutes. I guess it kind of depends if you consider yourself a pro organizer or moderate or beginner. Now you begin putting items back thoughtfully. Thoughtfully is the key. Arrange frequently used items at the front or in your primary workspace area. Place rarely used items towards the back or in secondary spaces, like in a drawer or in a cabinet. And then use storage containers to create a system that's both functional and doesn't give you the ick if it's sitting on top of your desk and you look at it. I feel like that's how I base my storage containers off of. Like, Is it pretty or is it still ugly? I don't know. I don't know if I want that on my desk. Anyway, if you are working in a shared space like the garage or the kids' play area, once again, make it a team effort. Collaborate with family members to create an organization system that everyone can help maintain. Now, step number 4 is the final touches. I would guesstimate like 5 to 10 minutes. Depending on the area that you're working in, these approximations could be much higher. But for the sake of this example, those are the estimations that I've kind of put in there. That made sense when I was working through my vanity. Those final touches, take a moment to step back and do a final check. Ensure all items are in their rightful place. Verify the space is clean and ready for you to use. And add a personal touch. Maybe it's a small decoration, or maybe your makeup lamp needs to move from the left side to the right side because you're right-handed. Now's the time to do it. Now, like I said, the time breakdown, small areas, I would say like 30 to 45 minutes. You could do this entire process in. And larger areas like the garage or a big family room, I would say is like 1 to 2 hours. It really depends on the space and the help available. Remember, this reset structure keeps things manageable, focused, and flexible. The goal isn't perfection, it's just progress. Is it better than it was before? Yes? Fabulous. Now, life happens, and sometimes you'll be hit with unexpected challenges. A sudden illness, a sick kiddo, work deadlines, or heaven forbid, family emergencies. Your reset routine might and will completely fall. It will fall apart. Your reset routine might fall completely apart, and that's totally okay. It's not the end of the world. The garbage cans are not on fire. It is all right. The most important thing is to give yourself grace. This is a constant reminder to myself as well. Give yourself grace. You're human and human things happen. A reset routine is a tool to support you, not another source of gigantic stress. If you miss a week, it's not a failure. It's just life is happening. Some weeks, survival mode is the only mode in my brain. And that's completely valid too. Think of this reset routine kind of like a compass, not a rigid map. Some weeks, the path might shift. You might need to take a different route. What matters isn't following an exact plan, but it's maintaining your overall direction of creating more calm and order in your life. If you miss a week, it's not a setback. Just remind yourself, it's okay. It's fine. It's just a moment of recalibration. The route is meant to support you and not stress you out. I can't emphasize that enough. Some weeks simply surviving is an achievement, and it's okay. We survived that week. And a pro tip is keep a flexible mindset. It's much easier if your mindset is flexible than if it's fixed. If you can do a full reset, you could always do a 10-minute reset or a 15-minute reset. You can tackle just one small area. Something is always better than nothing. So I have a challenge for you. I think this is the first episode that I'm doing a challenge. I'm kind of excited. Dun, dun, dun. This challenge, I want you to start your own weekly reset routine, okay? It's super simple, pressure-free, and here's the starting point. Choose one day that feels manageable. Set aside 30 minutes to start. Focus on one key area and track how it impacts your week. But no judgment. Don't be judging yourself, okay? Like I said before, the goal here is not perfection. It's not to stress you out. It's about creating that routine that works for you and not against you. So some weeks you'll nail it and some weeks you won't. And both are absolutely fine because we're human. If you haven't already grabbed the free digital declutter checklist, head on over to today's show notes at tidytheclutter.com/018. It's really packed with quick, actionable steps to tackle your inbox, files, and apps in just 15 minutes. I think that's a pretty good kickstart as well. Ooh, and speaking of getting organized, next week we'll be diving into a different kind of clutter, digital clutter. One of my favorites. Okay, hopefully you're still with me if you just heard me like ridiculously singing. But is your inbox overflowing? Are your files a mess? Are your apps completely out of control on your phone? You won't want to miss next week's episode. I'm just saying. I'm going to be sharing how I am claiming mastered digital organization, including a real life story about a project that nearly went completely off the rails just because of disorganized files. Plus, I'll give you a quick actionable tip to take back control of your digital world. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope this episode sparks some inspiration to create your own weekly reset routine. Remember, it's not about doing everything. It's just about doing what works for you. Take care, my friend, and I will talk with you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Tidy the Clutter podcast. I hope you're leaving today with at least one small step that you're excited to take. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about finding what works for you and building on it little by little. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it if you'd give the podcast a follow and leave a quick review. It really helps others find the show and join us on this journey toward less stress and more ease. And if you're looking for more tips, resources, or just a bit of extra motivation, head over to tidytheclutter.com, and everything you need to stay organized and feel more in control is waiting for you there. Until next time, keep things simple, stay focused, and enjoy those small wins along the way. Take care and talk soon.